Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. We are doing Block Constructed this time, and I think this is the one time where Block Constructed being all access is actually a big well, I think it's a plus because honestly speaking, people spending I don't know if these are considered rare or mythic. I'm actually curious. So the thing with all access is that they decided to include the stellar sites as part of the part of the pool, which is all good. We get Ancient Tomb, we get a few cards like Gemstone Caverns, a lot of the nice manlands, and oh, what do we have here? Strip Mine. They don't even allow this in Historic. And you know very well what people are gonna do with Strip. It's not like it's just regular Strip Mine. It's also a format where we happen to have Icetill Explorer where you can get Strip Mine from your graveyard. So we kind of know what to expect here. And we pretty much have to play these. I'm actually curious what... Oh, these actually use Mythic wildcards. So thank goodness this is all access. Otherwise, otherwise Wizards would really be considered scummy if they had to go through this. But there we go. That's pretty much what we're expecting to look at here. And pretty much, I would not be surprised if this is what everyone did. Okay, actually, now that I think of it, this one pull through the weft is actually going to be kind of useless here. We are probably better off with, say, another land. I'm actually going to use this flex slot for another Dauntless Scrapbot here. The reason for this is that it exiles each opponent's graveyard, so if our opponent's been stocking up, been keeping Strip Mines in the graveyard to protect them, this is a good way to wipe them out. That said, this is super late game. If your opponent has to lock early, it's a big issue. So the object is to pretty much beat our opponent to it. So pretty much Ancient Tomb to get a turn 3 Icetill Explorer. We kind of want to have some amount of removal if we can. Like a Diplomatic Relations onto Frenzied Ballot is a very good way to take out Icetill Explorer. We could also use that for Drix Fate Maker, though it does take a few weird combos like Drix Fate Maker putting the counter. We can combo it with Close Encounter later. There's a Biosynthetic Burst to give us the additional power if need be. Also, Hemosymbic might... I really have to be careful how to I pronounce this carefully. But the might tapping to pump this up. So pretty much you really want your 3-powered creatures to stay around because that one pump is going to be what you need to take out the Icetill Explorer. Otherwise, it's super aggro. We have Gene Pollinator as a way to generate mana because we're going to definitely lose a lot of it. We have a few Gemstone Caverns. Get the jump on our opponent if we're on the draw. Yes, it's a bit of a sacrifice. There's also Bonder's Enclave as a one-shot pick here. Honestly, the Evendo, it's only useful as a way to tap the Hemosymbic Might without having to go into combat, but honestly, we don't really want it. And we have a few copies of Oroboid if we can get there. We might even end up cutting those because this is gonna be that kind of format. I'm already feeling sick to my stomach, and it's not because of the flu. I'm actually a lot better now. It's not because of the flu, it's pretty much because I've been reduced to playing this. I'll be editing the deck list a little bit shortly. We do have our Ancient Tomb and multiple Icetill Explorers to start. So we'll probably start with a tapped Evendo. Frenzied Baylot. If our opponent goes for the removal like Plasma Bolt, that's super fine. So we now get to decide, okay, we actually hit double Ancient Tomb. So probably just go Icetill Explorer. And we can play another Ancient Tomb. Mills, okay, so that's fine. So pretty much the plot here is use Diplomatic Relations to clear the board. So target may have we decline. Yeah, we don't give them landers if we can help it. That said, we did end up playing an Edge Rover to soak up removal. They might have a Bombard, in which case we do have another Icetill Explorer. But we actually want to save this other Icetill Explorer because we don't really need it right now. Gonna take it a little bit slow. I suspect our opponent might have a Nova Dragon. Opponent going for the Orbital Plunge to get a Lander token. We can... Nope, we target this one. Play that, but I think I would rather start putting our opponent on, since we know our opponent has a lot of expensive removal. And this is why it's disgusting. There's no good reason for this combo to be permitted. Opponents actually now forced to use their Lander token to get land, but they might have removal. Nope, they're just gonna snipe the Rover to get another one. Irony of it being that we can have to also be careful how I say it. We can mine our opponent out so that they can't even activate the Landers. And there we go, got our opponent concede. Our opponent really... No, we had the backup Icetill Explorer. They had the removal for it. Unfortunately, you notice that the removal is pretty much 3 mana, 4 mana, and there's a very good chance that you might not even have that mana left if your opponent gets to go off with It is admittedly a very fragile combo. Like it's very powerful for what it is, which is why we are playing it. But you're not always going to have both cards. Like, we drew into the strip mine really late. But we did get a good enough lead with our Ancient Host. So, we are on the play. Don't really like this hand. It's super slow. But I'll keep it. We'll show you why this is really bad. You see green. Okay, white. Well, let's still see green later. No, this still taps. So it's actually not so bad because we pretty much had the 1-drop anyways. And we could actually just keep this untapped here, so to block the Inquisitor. Now this one is... Now I guess playing to stall out the opponent might kind of work. And it's also white-black, so could... I will block. But now if we don't hit the land drop, we are in real trouble. Oh wow, we are... Okay, maybe we should not... We do have a bit of a... We are running 24 lands, but we do have a relatively high curve. So maybe... It is actually and this actually quite fits well. I was considering green red for like little breaking because we're gonna be wiping a lot of creatures per se. Okay, we can concede this one. We did not draw a third land. Yeah, you want 3 lands as a basic minimum here, or I would say land in Ancient Tomb, but with the risk of strip mine, you kind of want to have 3 lands. So definitely do not keep a 2-lander. You're not gonna win. It's actually an argument. Do we even keep the Oroboids? I know that's kind of like our super top end, but most of the time we don't really need it. So I could even see that one getting cut, say, in favor of a bunch of cheaper creatures, I would. Like the Doggo Companion, like, well, you'd have to spend 2 mana, but just to tap it and put a card in the bottom, it doesn't say work, like, it's kind of like an alternate way to... Okay. I want to keep this, but we're missing another green for Frenzied Baylot. We're also missing another green if we hit the Explorer, so that's also an issue. Actually, it's an argument to not run this out right away. So we'll hide the diplomatic relations. And since we're not really doing anything, we will just win our opponent out. We really need to hit another green mana for the Frenzied Baylot. That's fine. Okay, there you go. Frenzied Baylot. We don't attack because we plan to just use Diplomat. Now, our opponent could have the... Also, this specific, this has to be a creature that is warped. Opponent could tap this down, but actually this seems like a good counter. They did have to focus fire after all. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, seam rips are actually quite good. I would still block the Inquisitor. Oh, opponent might not even... Okay, so let's keep stock of what we have. We want to get rid of this because this clears out our board. It cannot be a fight. There's an argument for taking this out, but... Yeah, but we are gonna... But we don't have a real out to the Flying Lifelink. Right. Yeah, having a lot of cheap removal helps. Unfortunately, our Baylots are super vulnerable to Seam Rip, which is probably the perfect removal. We do have a few more expensive creatures, but... And they can just remove to tap. Ooh. Yeah, we can kind of concede this one. Actually, these are charge counters. It just so we can those counters can also. Well, not by this, but those counters can be removed by another ability. So still kind of having it tough, but we just need to have that. We just need to have early aggro. The edge rovers kind of help. Yeah, I guess we cut out. Why did point remove that? Yeah, we need to have anti-artifact enchantment removal. Okay, this one I'm willing to keep. We can just keep it as a base aggro plan. Opponent does have the strip mine. They do have the curiosity to make a lander token. Now our gene pollinator can function with these and this is pretty much they whiff. So we can play this one out. We can get 2 green. Opponent has no intrinsic might. So let's see. Another edge rover. So let's see. I can buy Synthetic Burst to boost it. As soon as our opponent finds a land, they're going to crack the lander for sure. No, they did not, and that's how it is. Our opponent did start it, but they ended up not drawing into any other lands. So no bueno for our opponent there. So we can play the game of annoying each other, and relatively quickly at that. Whew. So our opponent is waiting, so they get to go first. So this is a bit of a dud, but we get to do edge row. Oh, and they even mulled. We do get to do an early 1/2 mono green start. Yeah, we're just gonna start punching quite a bit. Opponent's gonna try to accelerate. I suspect they're going for an Icetill Explorer. Oh no, they're going. Now there is a board wipe at 5 mana, so we're gonna just see if we're fast enough. And these are just 1 and 2 drops. 1 mana 2/2 with upside. Well, it's, I guess giving your opponent a permanent is not completely. It's not complete upside, but still. And I think that's it. Opponent only played Curiosity and not much I was also thinking of, well, unfortunately, when you start thinking of unfair strategies, the fair strategies some start dropping. It also doesn't quite help that a lot of the times when we have block constructed now, especially because we're just limited to one completely one set, we're not getting like one big set, one small set anymore. It's really hard to fill out. It's really hard to fill out strategies nowadays. Yeah, after this, our opponent's gonna change to add. Gonna change it to green red. Add little breaking. Little breaking is actually gonna be quite a good add here. A lot of mono green stuff, except for the main Icetill Explorer, which is why we saw our one earlier opponent play red. It does have the removal to. It does have the potential removal to take care of all of. To take care of an Icetill Explorer. In fact, that would be an interesting thought exercise. There's even enough spacecraft in red that it's actually quite playable. So probably don't need the tap land on turn. Yeah, we'll just do Edge Rover. Yep, this is the... Opponent's gonna take it, so... We're gonna go with Go White Plan B and hope our opponent does not have running red. So far it's mono green. Ooh, it's a counter style deck. Counter as in... Okay, let's see. I need to do the math. 1, 2... Oh, be careful with your target. And... yeah, that's it. Again, the evento is just to have something to tap this on command. It's gonna be a bit of math here. Also, at least with Pollinator, it's when it plays their own Edge Rover, so we. Ooh. Okay, they decided. Yeah, we not having the removal on time. Well, they only get to draw 2 count. But yeah, us not having removal really hurts us. This is the other end of the combo here. Yeah, we really need to save these up. So the Ouroboros is still has its place, and yeah, opponent has the second one weakened. 1 yard. Insect is mostly for the might, which is probably a good call. I didn't exactly want to run another one for that. But yeah, it's not really despite the extra number of duals and dual land options. Yeah, it's not a boy multicolor is not a thing. Okay. So this is where we hope our opponent doesn't have turn 1 strip mine. Oh, it's in red, so yeah, we have to take this one. Oh, red blue. Ooh, okay. Opponent's creative. Now double check. This is any target, so they could snipe the bay a lot. Oh, it has red.
I will seize my new future.
Oddly enough,
Quite a moment for you, hero.
okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the only purpose of this one. It's just to have a way to tap the might. Now, this one, it's still impressive, but no, one is just taking them. Okay. And this is at the beginning of combat, so we could have actually tapped this, but it's okay. We could have actually tapped this to give these even more counters. That would have been a really nasty loop. Opponent is also missing their Now take note that this powers up when it leaves the battlefield, sure. But usually it's a sacrifice effect. Yeah, I figured as much. I actually tried it, green red and red blue. The biggest issue is you kind of have to play black red because that's the only one with the free sack outlet. And even then you really want to be playing 3 colors just to make it work. So you can play a few more games. Unfortunately, a lot of the synergies are very slow, and it's slow is fine, It's just that this is actually the reality of the limited format. Also, it's fast and tempo based. So opponent's waiting. So this one's just gonna. At least it's untapped. Well, we don't have a use for this quite yet, I guess. One is playing Creeping Target, so this might be a control deck. It's either control, it's just artifact. Oh! Now this time we're gonna save the removal when we can. If our opponent had a lander token on standby, they would have. Oh. Yeah, I guess that's our opponent's out, but at least it spends a lot of our opponent's time doing that. All Fate Scroll. Oh, they really are controlled. If we can hit Icetill Explorer, it's gonna be so busted, but for now, we're... I'm also quite wary about not attacking, sending more into our opponent because there, this is constructed, so there are quite a few board wipes. Opponent, it's still 7 mana to crack this for that many cards. Opponent concedes. I'm really curious about this. Did they could have just used whatever removal they had, or did they just not want to come? I have no idea. Well, they probably figured I was not gonna cast this other one, so any removal spell would be on a 1-to-1 basis. White, blue, black would be the good options for it. It's not like they were running out of plans. So we definitely lead on Pollinator turn 1 into Might turn 2, Strip Mine into... Also running out of Pollinator. So this one, so we target this one. And that one, so... And like that, our opponent's like, well, they did think themselves a bit. Oh, they got the Ancient Tomb into a Galactic Wayfarer, which we can figure out the way. And there you go. Sometimes you just need the fast aggro start. And Strip Mine, yeah, Strip Mine actually is pretty much the superior tempo play. It's pretty much, yeah, sure, it would be really bad late game, but hey, sometimes you get the lock. And even at the times you didn't get the lock, we got quite a lot out of it. So, yeah, I'm probably not going to be really happy with this particular version of Block Constructed. Probably could have maybe set those some special lands aside, but they do need to sell mythic and rare wild cards. So that's gonna be it for this episode of MTG Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, turn on notifications and whatnot. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.